The next mode of nutrition what we're going to discuss is about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and this mode of nutrition is the mode where the organisms belonging to this category depend directly or indirectly on the autotrophic organisms, and based upon that we are going to categorize into 4 different group of organisms and on how they get their nutrition. So simply I'll give you an outline about the requirement, energy requirement. Now, cow eats grass. The grass is the food which is stationary. It remains in one particular place. So the cow need not spend more energy in getting the stationary food. But whereas if you see the lion or the tiger has to get the food which is a movable, a deer or any other organism where it has to spend more energy to get the movable food. So the energy requirement also varies depending upon the what kind of food source they get into it. So keeping all these things into mind, we do have a broad category of 4 different group of. So first one is saprophytes. So saprophytes or the saprophytic mode of nutrition. These organisms undergo saprophytic mode of nutrition where we're producing some kind of biocatalyst. Again, the biocatalyst is called as an enzyme. So this enzyme will convert the complex substance into simple substances, and that simple substance is now absorbed by the organism. So this conversion takes place outside the body. So outside the body they will convert the complex substance to simple substance by producing enzyme, and once this conversion is over, now they will absorb the simple substance into the body. And example for that kind of organisms are like yeast, mushroom, fungi. Fungi means it includes the yeast form and the mold form together, we put it as a fungi. So these are the examples of organism in the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Now the next mode of nutrition is called as parasitic mode of nutrition, and the organisms are called as parasites. So how we categorize them as parasites? So these group of organisms or the organism, they depend on the host, some other organism. The some other organism is called as a host, the one who is hosting. So one is receiving or giving shelter, giving nutrition is called as a host. The organism is called as a host, and the one who sucks the nutrition, take the shelter from the host is called as a parasite. So host is not going to get any benefit from the parasite. So the parasite will cause only harm to the host. So that kind of relationship is called as a parasitic relationship. And example, we do have plant parasites and animal parasites. So one such example of plant parasite is Cascata. So we can see these kind of parasitic organisms, parasitic plant lives on the other plant and get the nutrition from the plant organism. Next is animal parasite like ticks and lice. And this parasite also we do have like ectoparasite and endoparasite. Ectoparasite means parasite which is living outside the body, and endoparasite means inside, endo D and inside D. So it is living inside the body. So based on that we categorize. So it is harm, whereas the parasite is benefited by getting the nutrition and shelter from the host. Okay. Then coming to decomposers. Examples of decomposers are bacteria and fungi. So again they feed on the dead and decaying organic matter and produce enzyme, convert complex substance into a simple substance. This remains the basic outline. So last mode of nutrition is the holozoic mode of nutrition. So what happens in the holozoic mode of nutrition is the organism will ingest the food. Completely it will ingest the food. After ingesting, inside the body only it is converted to complex substance into simpler substances, again using the enzyme. Whereas if you see in saprophyte, what happens outside it will convert complex into simpler and the simple form is absorbed. Here what happens? It will ingest completely. After ingesting completely, then it will convert the complex substance into simple substances. And under holozoic, we do have unicellular and multicellular. Example for unicellular organisms are amoeba and paramecium. So we will have a look at the amoeba. How does amoeba capture the food? So as I told you, what is the explanation for holozoic? We will get into the amoeba capturing the food. So amoeba is a unicellular organism. A single cell will perform all the function, right from digestion, respiration, excretion. So all the functions are performed by a single cell unicellular organism, that is amoeba. And what happens, it has finger-like projection is called as pseudopodia, and when the pseudopodia comes in contact with any kind of food particles, it will go and capture the food particle and form a vacuole. Surround, it will engulf the food particle, and after engulfing the food particle, it form a vacuole called as food vacuole, and inside that vacuole only the food particle will be there, and that vacuole contains so many different kind of enzymes, and that enzymes will break down the food, whatever is ingested into tiny food particle, and after that process is over, whatever the food that is ingested is assimilated in the body. A single cell will do all the process, and undigested food is removed out again through the cell membrane, and the process is called as egestion. So if you see paramecium, it contains cilia all over the body. Okay, thread-like appendages is called as cilia present all over the body. If you see paramecium, it contains cilia, and amoeba and engulfs the food through the pseudopodia. So we do have holozoic mode of nutrition, and for that example is human beings. So we will discuss about how the human beings intake the food, what are the organs involved, what are the enzymes, and stepwise process. We'll get into it.